And regarding the imperialists, they have a particular worldview that I'm going to carefully and thoroughly explain to you. The world boils down to a triangle for them. You will see the triangle in most of their symbols. Perhaps you do not understand, but the world boils down to a triangle. From their perspective, precisely at the apex of the hierarchical triangle resides the magnificent and enduring empire of good. And the great empire of good rightfully belongs to them. It is prosperity, everything positive. It's them who have the right to all happiness in this world. It's them who have the right to all the riches. It's up to them to impose their way of seeing the world, to impose their vision, their way of life. That's why during colonization or their conquests, I would say, they came to our lands and said they discovered our territories, because to them we are savages. We have nothing like them, actually. So they called us indigenous, and they are the people. They arrogate all the rights for themselves. For those individuals, it is essential that the world operates precisely in the manner they desire. It is quite simple, and I will provide you with a few illustrative examples shortly. Viewed through their films, they have prepared the minds of their people to make them understand that they are the best. They are the ones who must own everything. You will not say otherwise. In all the films that they actively propagate, you will always find the villains, whether they are Russians, South Americans, or black people playing the bad role. Drug traffickers, pimps, human traffickers. Up to recent times, of course, you will find Arabs playing the role of terrorists.
Look, Iran today, all possible sanctions. Look at how they label certain peoples. Through communication, they can lead you to hate a people or to love a people. They are very strong in communication, and they use all possible channels. Look at the war that is raging. They have invented everything for their own interest. And finally, the empire of slaves, according to them, is Africa and certain peoples of South America. In their minds, as I was saying recently, Africa belongs to them, our lands belong to them, the riches of Africa are for them, and they cannot conceive that Africans could emancipate themselves, rise above, and therefore want to stand up to them. And for that, they have ingrained a stereotype in their minds. Africans are easy to manipulate, they are only emotion. They will always find an African to fight against his brother, and it has always been like that. Through communication, they have led you to hate your own skin color. In our cultures and in many cultures in Burkina Faso here, mourning was symbolized by the color blue. When a woman loses her husband, she would wear blue outfits to mourn for a certain period. They are the ones who came to tell you that black symbolizes mourning, the devil, mediocrity, everything that is bad. And unfortunately, we have swallowed that so much that when we are in mourning, we also dress in black. We need to wake up. We need to wake up because this is the stereotype they have in mind. They are the empire of good, others are the empire of evil, and we are the empire of slaves. To better understand what I would say, we need to go back in time a bit. And I hope that some will go read about who the Tsars are, the Mongol conquests, the Persian, Turkish, and Ottoman empires. Read their history, and you will understand why the world is the way it is. At the base of the triangle, there are two empires. On one side, the empire of evil, according to them, and the empire of slaves on the other side. That's how they see the world. Who do they call the empire of evil? What I just mentioned the origin of, and I told you to go back in time. Go read, and you will understand why they are the empire of evil in their eyes. They fight the empire of evil. For them, the empire of evil must disappear. For them, the empire of evil embodies the devil, they communicate this and make it understood to their people in this way. That's why after World War II, in the 1980s, I will take the case of Russia, where all the strategies were implemented to bring it down with President Gorbachev. In the United States, it was President Ronald Reagan who was at the helm. Three main strategies caught our attention. They went to Saudi Arabia, asking them to lower the oil price from $35 to $7 to strain the Russian economy. In parallel to this, the second strategy, don't forget something. These same people who just left Afghanistan, supposedly fighting the Taliban were received by President Ronald Reagan at the White House. They were armed by the CIA. The famous Stinger missiles, surface to air, were delivered to the Taliban to fight the Russians. And later, they supposedly come to fight them. Go figure. The third strategy was a bluff. The IDS project, Star Wars. Read, and you will understand why. They led President Gorbachev to create the Paulus Project, which sank Russia. Once Russia collapsed, those who claimed to be from the Empire of Good began to rejoice, until this team came along with Vladimir Putin to try to bring Russia back to the surface. The Empire of Evil, according to them, suffered a lot.